So guys, I've been using the LG V20 for about 2 weeks now, and special shout out to AT&T for sending me the device to review. So I want to just show you everything that I've come to love and maybe hate about the device for having it for about 2 weeks now. So to get started off, let's just take a look at the physical aspects of the device. So the left-hand side of the device has the power buttons, which is a little bit different than the last year's V10 because the power buttons were on the back. So on the bottom of the device, we have the headphone jack, we have the USB Type-C port, and we have the speaker. So two things I want to comment about that. Coming from the LG V10, we now have USB Type-C, which is a great upgrade. We all know USB Type-C is the way of the future. Most flagships do have the USB Type-C connector, other than the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. The Note 7 did fill that void, but we all know what happened there. The speaker itself on the LG V20 isn't anything to write home about. It's pretty loud, but it's just a single speaker and it's not even front facing. But that's not the point. The LG V20, the magic happens when you plug in your headphones into the headphone jack. The V20 has a dedicated DAC, it's a quad DAC, so it's super high fidelity. If you really do have any great speakers, if you have studio quality speakers, the LG V20 should be able to power those perfectly fine, and you should get the best audio out of that. And then on the other side of the device, we have this unique button where you press it, and the back actually pops off. So this is kind of similar in how the LG G5 worked to swap out the mods, but in my opinion, I'm so glad that the LG V20 doesn't have mods. It just has that button so you can pop off the metal back and replace the battery, which is a great thing if you do value a user replaceable battery. And then of course on the back of the device we have the dual cameras and the fingerprint scanner. I feel like the dual camera setup is going to be used on a lot of phones nowadays. It started way back in the day with the HTC devices, and then LG came along and did it with the G5. The V20 has it, the iPhone 7 Plus has it. There's even rumors of the Galaxy S8 having it. I imagine all the phones are going to do it a little bit different, but how the LG V20 uses its dual camera setup, one camera is the normal, just a normal lens, and then the other camera is the wide angle lens. So the normal camera can go up to 16 megapixels, however it's defaulted at 12 if you want the normal widescreen view, and then the wide angle view is limited to 8 megapixels, so the quality isn't as good, but you can really get a super wide angle view, which I really like. It can actually come in handy in a lot of situations. Fingerprint scanner, there's really not too much to say about it. The past year or so, fingerprint scanners have really improved. All the latest and greatest flagships, they work really good, so there's nothing to really comment about that in my opinion. So the screen on the LG V20 is 5.7 inches. It's LCD, so if you're used to Samsung screens, the Super AMOLED screens, you're going to be a little bit disappointed because the blacks aren't going to be as black. And if you're used to super saturated colors, you're not going to see those here. However, that aside, the one cool thing of the LG V20 is the second display. Now there aren't too many new features from the LG V10, but one thing I can say, a great improvement from the V10 to the V20, at least in the ones I've tested, the LG V10, the second screen had some really big problems with light bleed. If you held the second screen or the phone to the side, you could definitely see the light coming through. The LG V20, there is no light bleed. You can blast up the brightness on the phone itself and you don't see any light bleed at all, so that's a great thing there. And as far as the second screen itself, it is something different, so you have to kind of force yourself to use it. So there's a few different things you can do. You can take advantage of the most recently used apps part of the second screen. You can pin your favorite apps. You can use the quick toggles. That's all great. And you can even use the quick toggles when the phone itself is off. And if you're all about customization, you can even customize your name, put it up there, and you can even make the background on your phone match as well, which I think is a pretty cool touch. So you can see that the background on my phone says J, and that's because it matches my name right up there. So this just adds a whole nother level of customization that you can do to your smartphone. And one feature that seems kind of silly, but let me just show you. I always get caught up in watching YouTube videos, but sometimes I forget what time it is. When you put your phone in full screen mode, just like this, you're looking at it, you have no idea what time it is. If you just tap on the second screen right there, the time comes up really quick. which is a pretty cool feature to me, and it doesn't waste any space on the main screen. And another great spot where the second screen comes in handy, pull up your camera, and as you can see right there, it kind of just blends in with the second screen, but it now adds different controls. So you can do manual, you can do automatic, you can do everything right there. And this second screen isn't part of the 5.7 inches, it's all extra. So if LG or even third-party developers can utilize the second screen, there can definitely be some great productive uses from it. And now that we're into the camera is really amazing. The LG V10, when it came out, it was all about manual controls and video. So the LG V20 still allows you to do that. You can set all the manual controls, white balance, ISO, shutter speed, everything like that. You can even set the audio. You can set the different levels. It's just a really good camera. And obviously, of course, you can do manual mode with photos as well, but the video is the really important part. That's like the feature that will push a lot of these phones for people, because you can get the LG V20, get a tripod, get a fluid head, and you could actually probably run a YouTube channel with just the phone alone. Now, of course, you're still relying on a smartphone-sized sensor, so you're not going to get the best low light. You're not going to get really good depth of field if you're far away from the image, but it's still something worth thinking about. And I did mention the wide-angle camera or just the dual camera setup earlier in the video, but it is a really great feature or a selling point of the LG V20. So the iPhone 7 Plus, you know, has also the dual camera setup. However, the way the iPhone 7 Plus works, it adds a telephoto feature, while the LG V20 is a wide-angle feature. So you kind of got to think to yourself, what would you rather have? So if you go to the beach or go on hikes or just enjoy wildlife or nature in general, the wide-angle camera is going to be a really good addition to your lineup. You can get some really impressive photos, share on Facebook, make people really jealous. It basically just emulates a GoPro camera lens. And I know it's kind of silly, and I don't really like to talk about the front-facing cameras much on smartphones unless they really impress me, but the one cool feature on the LG V20 is that it has some gestures to help you take pictures. So if you hold out the phone like this, and you can see yourself, you hold up your hand and it recognizes it, and then you just hold it shut, and it will actually take a selfie. I'm not so sure if I would crown the LG V20 as the best camera on the market, but with all the features it offers, in addition to the unique wide-angle lens, it's definitely one to consider. Now, the iPhone 7 Plus and the Galaxy S7, both are great cameras as well, so you gotta do a little bit more research yourself to figure out which one works the best for you. So guys, that's my thoughts and feelings of the LG V20 after about 2 weeks now. It's a great phone, especially considering it has Android 7.0. It's got that quad DAC. It's got a great display, even though it's LCD. There's not really too much I can complain about. It's a great all-around device. If you're looking for a top-spec Android flagship device, you can't go wrong with this, even though there are some equally great devices out there as well. So that's all I gotta say, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more tech videos, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.